Mel, Jamie, we're back at CAVD distribution in Marlow. The year is 2026. It's been about a year, 3/4 of a year since we were last here doing a podcast with you. Tell us a little bit about what's happened in the last sort of 6 to 12 months with CAVD. I know you've done some upgrades to the showroom, and then we'll get on to some exciting new news that we want to mention to all the people watching this. So, Jamie, tell us a little bit about what's been going on.
Thank you. So we've had a busy period of late. I think 2025 was a challenging year for a lot of our industry, I believe. Speaking to people out there, that various things going on in the world affecting what people are doing in terms of buying habits and investing in property and that sort of stuff. But it was a real building year for us, 2025, and I think we've laid some really good foundations, which we're already seeing the benefits of now as we move into 2026. So we worked really hard last year. One of the hardest years we've ever faced in terms of just like doing what we have to do. But it's starting to reap the rewards of that as we move into 2026. So we had a full year of Origin, obviously last year, very key brand for us, Origin Acoustics. We've revamped the whole showroom here with Origin. A lot of it you can't see, which is the whole point of Origin. It's discrete architectural audio. And then last year we also signed Leon speakers. Almost the opposite, whereas it's all very, artistic led, interior design led, and makes a feature of what you're doing with those things as well. So the two brands are very complementary. So key brands for us going into this year as well. We've got momentum with both, and the team's growing slightly. The brands are growing slightly as well. We'll come on to in a minute. And you're right, we did do a revamp of the showroom. And we put a lot more speakers in here, not that you would know, which is kind of like the whole point of what we do as an industry. But we spent quite a bit of time and money getting this regenerated last year, and again reaping the rewards of that. So we're in a good place. I'm actually really happy with the team, and what we're doing.
She's sitting literally 2 foot away from you.
Yeah, Mel's brilliant, as she knows. I don't have to tell her.
Does she know?
She tells me. And then no, look, we know. The feedback we have from our customers is that our team is well respected. As much as we've got great product, and you have to have great product, I don't believe there's much bad product out there. The competition is strong. There's some really good people out there and products, but I think the combination of the products we've got now moving forward with, and the people. And I include the people in our team and the people from those brands, we make a cohesive unit, I think, that appeals to custom installers in terms of service, support, reliability, and it's all got to be right. One of those things is wrong, the people are off, or the brand's off, or something like that, then it can all, you can struggle. But as I say, we've worked so hard over the last 12 to 18 months, and we are reaping the benefits of that now as we move forward. And we've had probably the greatest Q1 we've had for a long time here in 2026. So,
well, I think people buy from people at the end of the day, and I think from what I picked up, when I got here this morning before Mel turned up, when I got here this morning, you and Richard were here. There was the enthusiasm, like with I'll try and get some B-roll and put some B-roll stuff up. But I know you've literally got a dealer coming after this. But like the screen we've got over there, or the for want of a better word, the frame around the screen of Leon, and then over in the background there, and then talking about the invisible speakers that I don't know whether they're there or not because I can't see them. But since the refurb, not that you were anyway negative about the old showroom. But there is a little bit of like, look at this. And there's that enthusiasm, which I think sometimes some brands go for volume and numbers, and they don't necessarily think about the people behind it, the passion. And I think, especially as my side of an integrator, I buy from people, and I buy from people who are passionate about the product. Because like I say, I won't put a product into a client's house unless I would put it into my own house. I mean, years ago, I had to rip a cinema out because it flooded. Not my fault. Because it flooded. It was demoralizing. I mean, I put it back and they paid me to put it back. So financially, it was brilliant, but it was demoralizing. And I get, when I speak to like you guys on the phone, or when I come here, look at these, this new product, this new shiny. And what you've done here is the showroom is very cohesive. You've got your little sections. I mean, it's not the biggest showroom in the world, but it's very well stocked with the brands, and a great place for integrators to come down to. So you've you've seen good feedback from your year with Origins. You've seen good sales.
Yeah.
You know, Jose's happy. You know, those type of things.
Yeah.
And then you've also got some interesting. Tell me a little bit about the light fitting speakers you've got back there.
Oh, that's the Leon product. So you got two products there. You've got the sconces, which are the ones either side of the TV.
Sounds a bit better than light fitting type products, doesn't it?
So they are a small speaker, either side of a bed, that sort of scenario. But like everything with Leon, very design focused. They've been designed in conjunction with a particular designer. Don't know the name off the top of my head, but it's all available. But I think I should have researched that before you asked me. but yeah, that we've got those, and they light up, and they are a speaker as well. Come in different materials and finishes to look beautiful. Then you've got the Ente tile here, which is a 2 foot by 2 foot square piece of art, effectively, that happens to be, acoustically transparent, and you have a speaker behind it. We can change that grill. I've got one down there. I just pop one off and put another one on. So if my mood changes, or Mel's mood changes, we can just change the grill, and it's as a light way around it as well. So very much about interior design and lighting, as well as just the speaker as well.
So is that the one where the amplification was in there as well?
In that one, but that particular one, no.
But you can do that.
Not you could put a Sonos in there.
Yeah, so you could put a 2-channel amp in there with some type of speaker. So it's
a small Bijou, or an audio control Bijou, or a Sonos. We happen to be running off the rack amplifier in here, but you could.
Obviously,
but you could.
If you're doing a centralized house, then you're not going to do it. But as someone that might want to add something to a property that's already been established, I mean, how we can wire places within an inch of their life, but there's always something someone will come back to and say, oh, could you do this, or could you do that?
But you can localize it. But that's one of the key things we're actually seeing in the industry as well. I think in the last months and few years or so, we're seeing many more single room solutions becoming prevalent. End users have got used to like switching between apps and using their phones. They don't mind doing that anymore. So, rather it was all like very centralized in a house, and on the large scale projects it still is. But we are seeing more single room solutions and integration to that single room more than we ever have done before, and I think that's going to be a growing trend.
I mean, we did a show last year now, and it was just a simple exhibition. It was one of the national building shows, and we had my old 65-inch TV connected, I think, to a Sonos amp, connected to a Kaleidoscope, and we were just using the Panasonic remote control that came with my TV. And I turned around and looked at Simon, who was doing the show with me, and I went, do you know what? It's actually nicely easy simplified. I'm not going to say you should rely on ARC and eARC, but in certain circumstances, to pick up the TV remote control to turn the TV on, it just turns everything else on.
Yes.
And you're right. There are still plenty of projects out there that want full-on Control 4, Crestron, Savant, RTI type systems. But there is more people that want solutions like you've got there and like you've got here that do want the one remote control, but they just don't want to overcomplicate it.
Sure, absolutely.
It's that classic case when you walk into a kitchen and the customer's playing music from the laptop, and then you're like, okay, I've done something wrong because they're not using the ceiling speakers. Why are they using the laptop? And then you have a chat with them and you find out that there's something not quite right.
Yeah.
And you fix it. But there is definitely people want technology, but they don't sometimes want the deep integration that maybe an integrator might want to give them.
I think that goes back as well to what you were saying a little while ago about our showroom here. So it's not the biggest showroom around, but what it is it's very likened to what people might have at home. So actually, we don't want people to walk in here and see something that's so far from their reach. We want them to come in here and feel like actually they could easily pick up one of these solutions and put it into their real life situation. So I think when you come in here, the zoning, you kind of sit here and you think, oh, actually, this could be my living room. This is actually very realistic for a lot of people. Or you go into our Origin cinema and actually, you could put that into a garage conversion. So it's very real life. Yes, there's big projects out there, but we all know they don't come along every day. So it's about feeling real, I think, when you're in here.
And also, even the person with the biggest project, even the person doing, let's say a circa £100,000 cinema, is also going to have a study, a living room,
Absolutely.
playroom, where some of the other solutions that maybe sometimes are overlooked or not even thought about, like the Leon speaker system that we've got here, that would go into a bedroom or a kitchen or a living room.
Yeah.
Good sound around a good TV, and it just fits into that lifestyle and that decor of that room, rather than just slapping a art TV on the wall or a TV on the wall.
Yeah, and we can always scale it up. We don't have a problem with doing that. And back to the Ente tile, things, you're saying about putting that in as a standalone unit, retrofitting it after a job's been done. You can put your own artwork on there. So if someone's got a nice family portrait or something that they want to display, but they want a little bit more from it, we can do that. So again, it's just about thinking about what people might want to add to their homes. Lots of people have lived in their homes for a long time. Lots of people have made their homes how they want them, especially over the last few years. And it's just about those little extra bits of finesse that we can give them.
So at the moment in the Marlow showroom, you've got Origins, you've got Audio Control, you've got Leon. What else?
This is a test, isn't it?
I was to say, what else have you got in here for people to come and see?
What are we sitting on?
Come on. Now, what are you sitting on now? Or
Cinema Deco CT.
Is it Cinema Deco? That's it. Yeah, it's like I can't remember what they're called now.
They're very
we've got JVC, Screen Excellence here. You obviously mentioned Audio Control powering the place in here. We've got the Origin Cinema in here. Whole place in here is Origin, including their 8-10 inch pendants. We've got Garden Audio downstairs, Invisibles. We've got their very, very, very cool marquee system here, which is their high-end ambisonic brand. Planar magnetic, different type of technology into those speakers as well. So Origin covers such a spread now of price points, and I'm amazed at how many SKUs they have, but how good the product is still as well. It's incredible, because to put your attention across so many different SKUs, you think, well, something's got to give, but everything we turn on in here from Origin sounds great. So yeah, that's important for us here. And Leon's been the latest, what we've added to it, and we love it. And you can see the visual aspects of it here. And if you can cut some B-roll, great. If we can't, fine. But Leon is, go to the website. It's very, very visual, completely.
Or come and visit us.
Or come and visit us. Yeah. We do have Noah Kaplan coming over. He's the founder of Leon Speakers from Ann Arbor in Michigan. He's coming over next month. We're doing a 2-day event here, and he's a cool guy. He's done a TED talk. So
really?
Yeah.
Really?
It'll be an interesting.
That's not the little fluffy teddy bear TED. That's the
proper TED talks. He won't talk tech. He'll talk about interior design. He'll talk about integration. Their theme at CEDIA last year when I went there, and their stand was super cool, was leave nothing unfinished. So you put a TV on a wall, it's a black box. Frame it, put something around it. Make a feature of it. They're all about integration, but in a different kind of way to Origin. It's about different types of woods and finishes and texture and grill types, that sort of stuff. So that's predominantly what we've got in here, but it does allow me to.
I always remember. Sorry to interrupt. I always remember with Leon I can't think we call it now. It's not an orangery. It's like a pergola type of what you have in your garden to grow your flowers over. But it was made of metal. But then when you looked up, I think it was a New York apartment or something like that, and you sort of it was this black metal structure that you grew flowers over. But then when you looked up at the metal slats, the slats had the speakers in them.
They did a very cool architectural piece. I can't remember what it's called right now, but we were thinking about getting one on that big wall, but we didn't quite have enough space to put it in. But yeah, I'm familiar with the kind of thing they do with that sort of stuff.
They're like, as you say, like in certain ways, some brands like Origins are get good audio in, but let's hide it.
Yeah.
Leon are very much like, well, look, we'll hide the speaker, but we'll cover it in a beautiful piece of artwork, or we'll integrate it into something so you don't necessarily see it, but it's there and it's a feature of the product.
Yeah.
And then you've got new products, is it Hyperion?
Hyperion's coming through from Audio Control.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that out at IC, and that looked amazing.
Yeah, really, really, really cool. The first the APR version, 16 channels coming through now. There will be a 1U digital version of that coming through fairly soon afterwards, and then there's going to be a new AVR as well from them as well. So yeah, really, really cool. So I'll tell you more about that as and when it comes through, really. But we'll have one sorted out and in here and using it at some point fairly soon as well. But just wanted to say, because we've talked about what's in here in this showroom, but we do have other places where we show things off. There's a house down the road that has a beautiful theatre into it, and we're gonna be putting a new brand into that one very soon, which we'll come on to in a second. That's
Segue.
That's going to be more like, that will take you into the £100,000 plus type scenario. It's a bigger system we've got here, bigger room than we've got here. And in the garden, it's full of Origin Acoustics, outdoor speakers as well. So we can, perfect timing now, look at the weather. Come and see us when that cinema's finished. We'll host you in the garden for a barbecue, or at least a cucumber sandwich or something, and then wow you with whether you're a burger man or a lady or a cucumber sandwich person. We'll make sure you're looked after, and then we'll wow you downstairs in the basement with the cinema as well. And there's another system going in. We've got a full ambisonic marquee system going into a shared space that we're involved with. It's a full 7.4 system with a full ambisonic marquee system going in. That will be ready in the next couple of months as well. Again, higher price point, but
is that local to here?
It's north of London.
So not well. I don't. To be honest, I had to look at the map to remember where I was going today. But so it's not. It's not that far.
Centrally, for anyone in the country, it's a really good spot, and we will have Origin in there as well with invisible speakers, the blends, some director series, as well as a full-on theatre with their marquee system. That's going to be really something quite special as well. So yeah, we've got some great things happening. So it's not just what we've got here. We've got other things we can show people, and more news on that as it comes out. But we're busy doing that sort of stuff as well as trying to keep up with everything else we're doing. So it's a good time. We're doing well.
And of course, as we record this, I think it was this week, and you just touched on it with the cinema that you're going to redo round the corner. You've got an exciting new Australian brand coming on board. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
My cork hat on, shouldn't I?
We're going to get Tinny out with some
Fosters.
My
kangaroo and my Fosters.
Yeah, you can carry on then.
Oh dear.
So Mel, what is this amazing brand that you have previously worked with?
I have.
And you're working with again?
I am, and I am very excited to be working with them again because they are a great team of people.
You haven't said who it is yet.
So we have been elected as the new UK distributor for Krix.
Okay, excellent.
So, yeah, we're very excited. The team over there, they're a great bunch of guys. I've always got on really well with them, so it's a pleasure to be working with them again. We are actually flying out to Munich in May to really get to grips with the brand. So
that's not in Australia.
No,
I know my geography's bad, but I know that Munich's not in Australia.
And I don't think that I'll find a nice Australian sandy beach out there either, which is a bit of a shame. But maybe Australia is on the wish list for later in the year. No, they run a distributor conference over there, so we've been invited along to that. We're really excited to kind of share some time with people that are already working with the brand. Or I need to brush back up on my knowledge because it's been a while. So it's available now from us immediately. We just got a bit of work to do, obviously, to understand it again. So
for anybody who's not, there's a YouTube channel, Building Montage, Tony, who is he's actually now an integrator out in Sydney, and he does a lot with Krix. And I remember watching, I think it was last year, he did a video of the factory at Krix, and that was really, really interesting to watch. I think they were putting together, I've got a feeling it was some floor standing speakers, but I think for me, that was a way that you saw that there was a love and devotion to the brand. It was very hands-on. We were watching one of the factory ladies putting together the speaker, and Tony was interviewing them, and just talking about how it goes together, and they are a brand. We've done one Krix cinema just the other side towards the end of last year, and then we're doing one at the moment as well. They are really well built speakers. I don't think Krix would disown me by saying, especially the cinema ones, they're not the most beautiful speakers, but they're made to go behind screens. They are very functional. They, you pick them up like a good watch or something like that, and you get a weight to them, and you think, yeah, this is really, really good. And then the ones that we're doing, you can angle the speakers to the direction of the seated position, so it's not just flat on the wall or recessed.
Yeah.
So what made you take on the brand? Obviously the brand. Obviously you see it as a good fit for CAVD.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of areas does it feel that maybe you weren't filling before, if that's correct?
I think I'll start and then I'll pass you on to Jamie. I think that one of the biggest synergies that we have with Krix is the family feel and the vibe. So you've already just touched on it. They are, so many brands go, oh, we're a family brand and we come from a family name, but Krix really do, and they still live and breathe that. And when you speak to any of the team, they're also closely knit. They all sing from the same hymn sheet. They all have the same passion. That's very evident. And I believe we have that here at CAVD. And Jamie's said it before. We are very much about our people and working together. We've spoken, we'd like to expand the team at some point, but I'm putting the brakes on because we have such a lovely vibe and a lovely fit. You bring someone into that, they have to fit, It only takes one person, doesn't it, for it to push it out of kilter. So I think we have that, Krix have that, and together we can really build something strong. We as well, we very much believe that the brands that we sell are good, solid brands, and we get behind them. We don't just sell them because it's a name on a piece of paper. We believe in them. We like them. We enjoy them. And Krix have that same ethos. Like you're saying about the quality, every single speaker that they make is tested before it's boxed and sent out. I'm not sure that anyone else can say that.
No, not every speaker. Maybe some high end ones, but not literally. From a is it not ambisonic? I can't remember what they're called now, but the ones that go on the wall, which I'm doing.
Cyclonics, Megaphonics.
That's it. Megaphonics. It's like your brand awareness of it's better than mine. Luckily, I'm not the distributor. But
we also ambisonic though, so we do ambisonic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's what was in my brain because you'd already mentioned that. It's the Sonics.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice that some of the. I mean, they're not exactly small, but the smaller.
Yeah.
They are
still
tested.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really important. I think it's important for us. We're bringing product over from Australia. We don't want it to get here and not be good. We don't want to be sending it back. But more importantly, for our integrators and for our end users to know that they are getting a product that we can confidently say when we ship that to you, it's been tested, it's been hand built, we know it's quality. If there is a problem, it's going to be very rare, and we know that it's going to be something quite unusual that's not been picked up. So it's nice for us to give that confidence to our dealers and for them to go out there and sell that with confidence. People just haven't got time to be dealing with a problem or having to backtrack or stall a project. So, yeah, I think for me, that's the biggest synergy.
Yeah, I'll add a few things, but I echo everything Mel said. In terms of bringing stuff over from Australia, just a practical point, their stock is all held in Central Europe. So if there was a problem, we get stuff quickly from Central Europe. So don't think it's got to come from all that way, if the worst happened. But yeah.
What do you mean when a client phones you up 3 weeks before Christmas and says, "Can you build a cinema for me?"
Well, that or a failure. I mean, we'll try and hold stock of parts and bits and pieces here as well. So there's some practical elements to it as well. So that's an important thing. We mentioned the people. The people are really, really key. We don't like chopping and changing brands. We get into what we get into. We get very, very much behind it. But when opportunities come along, when things are just right, we've got to do the right thing and go with that. So we've actually streamlined our offering. We're actually reducing our brands at the moment rather than so we're talking about new things, but some stuff is going in the meantime. So okay. So we're streamlining what we're doing. And when we've got such a strong brand like Origin, strong brand like Leon, they're killer. They're absolutely killer. But they don't cover quite everything, and Krix coming along as a strong brand as well, dedicated to the cinema side of things as well. That for me ticks most boxes. So we're not going to take on another brand that would conflict with that. We will. This is now for us, touch wood, where we'll be for a considerable number of years and get fully behind all three of those brands.
Well, you have a really vested interest because there's some. Not necessarily in our industry, but in certain industries, there are some people that they will take it in, and then they end up with, so many different manufacturers of the same product. You're like, okay, well, I know I can buy that from there and that from there and that from there, but when I then have got a technical question or I want to get vested in one side of it, no one knows what the
No.
difference between A
No.
and B.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
obviously if you're invested in that brand and someone comes to you and says, right, this is the room I've got, you can quite easily go, do you know what? That's probably an Origins job.
Yeah.
Or you can go, no, that is definitely a Krix job.
But all three of our brands that we work with on the audio side there are very much about training and design, and that was a good synergy for me. So we've been chatting Krix for a bit, but I know what's coming as well, which is also exciting.
You said this about 3 or 4 times to me today, and and you still won't tell me what is actually coming.
Well, in terms of new products and bits and pieces, in terms of Krix, as it comes out, you'll know. I think I think we're seeing some new stuff in Munich as well. So we're not completely privy to everything.
Me.
But no, I'm not teasing you. So there's some stuff coming as well. But it's also what they're doing in terms of marketing support, design support. Integrators are very busy people, and everyone's so different. I can speak to one integrator one day. He wants this thing, knows that thing, wants this, blah, 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 this way. And then another day, you speak to someone who goes, it's completely different. How they go to their clients, we have to morph every day, speaking to a different dealer, how we go about it. But I think with the brands we've got pretty much throughout our whole range now, they're very supportive to us in terms of design. There's a design service involved with most of these brands as well now that we can utilize, and the dealer can. And
they've got the data, because obviously we touched. Yeah. You've got certain people out there who will happily, or they want to, they enjoy the blank piece of paper or blank screen and design the system based on the data of the speaker.
Yeah.
And then you've got some people, I'm going to hold my hand up and say, like, all the years I was an integrator, like me, was like, I'm so busy, I haven't got time to spend a day designing it. Could you have a look at this for me?
And Richard and our team is key for that as well. He was here earlier. You obviously know Richard as well. Totally geeks out on this stuff. So we've got the team, as Mel said, we do need to grow because we are growing. But the next person that comes on board, or the next person after that, has to be the real fit for us. It's really important that they understand what we do, have a passion for it, have an enthusiasm. The business is 12 years old now, but I feel like it's our first year. I have that kind of level of excitement about
nearly
this
a
year.
Teenage daughter.
Yeah, I have a 21-year-old daughter who's also in the business now. So
I have a teenage daughter.
Yeah, I have one of those as well.
Let's hope you don't hit the terrible teens in the next year or so.
Well, we've been through that with mine, so we're in the midst of it. But where were we?
Put you off kilter.
You have. It seems like our first year. Yeah, I mean, it's a 12-year overnight success, as they say. So I'm grateful every day for those that support us from all aspects, and that includes obviously our customer base, who are being incredibly loyal and supportive over the years. Certain dealers really stand out in that. They've just been there for me as well through some of the difficult times. Just a business decision. I can go up. There's certain dealers I'm going to say, I'm struggling with this. Can you help me out? And they will. It's a very supportive community we work in AV, actually, generally. Our manufacturers, some have really gone to town to really help us, and they're the ones that are still with us, So, and the team, it's all coming together quite nicely, but I don't take it for granted because we are still in a difficult time in terms of what's going on around the world, and prices can soar for this, soar for that components. It's unpredictable, really is what it is. Yeah. But sort of touch wood, so far we're doing right by people, and that seems to be coming back to us. So we will continue to do that, and long may we grow and continue, and that's there we go.
Well, as I say, I think from the years that I've known you, you've seen that's exactly what you've done. You've adjusted the business. Obviously, you've brought Mel in, you've brought Richard in, you've brought your own daughter in now as well. It's a definite family affair now, isn't it? And you've sort of adjusted and just tailored the CAVD to suit, obviously, the products that you like and want to sell, but also that support the integrator, because at the end of the day, without the integrator, any distributor is not going to survive.
Course, yeah.
And I think from the outside looking back in, that seems to be what you've done. You've not been afraid to shy away and supersede a brand because not necessarily that one fits better, but it fits what you're trying to achieve better.
Absolutely, yeah. The range of SKUs we've got with our current portfolio is really strong. You know, from Invisibles with Origin, their outdoor range is very strong. Liam with the aesthetical stuff, and Krix with the cinema stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't think I would change portfolio
Well,
with other people. Really,
you can really,
it's-
in my brain, you really can do the dedicated high-end theatre to the, let's say 7.2.2 lounge system, to the TV in the kitchen, to the multi-room audio. I think
Yeah.
you've now got that synergy of brands that enable you to almost address every room in and outside of the house.
We have, absolutely, yeah. It's taken some time to get to this
Yeah.
point, but we've been yeah. I've grown CABD reasonably cautiously, but taking calculated risks along the way when it felt right. Yeah, we're in a good place right now, and I do see our team growing this year. I think it has to. We're overworked right now. It's
Who's going to interview this new person, you or Mel?
Everyone will.
Yeah, well, exactly.
That's actually
Everyone
very
will.
true.
Yeah.
That is very true. When I interviewed with Jamie, I also interviewed with Nadine. Well, it's funny, we laugh about it now because Jamie said I needed to make sure that you would get on together, and
Nadine, who's not locked in the office
she's
today.
not locked in the office. No,
she's working from home today. But
The last podcast we did, when we stopped recording after about an hour and a half, all you heard was this, finally.
We'll all interview them. It's a collective effort, and I'm going to do something actually quite different. Actually, and I'll put this out here now. I'm going to do like a social media video to try and recruit.
Okay.
I'm going to put it out there and just say, look at our socials, look at what we do. If the vibe aligns with you, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for, I don't want a massive CV of someone who's done this, that, and the other, or an industry veteran. I want people who are enthusiastic, passionate about, supporting people, loving what we do. If you're into tech, it does help quite a bit, but at least some bit of sales experience. So we are looking for people right now. So if anyone's looking at this right now and thinks, hey, that's a cool company, I want to go and work for those guys, do reach out. I mean it genuinely.
maybe we should get them to submit a video.
Yeah, do something funky.
Send over a video.
Do something funky.
In a quirky way.
Yeah. Mate, I agree.
Obviously, take health and safety into mind. Don't stand at the top of the BT Tower in London and do a funky video.
No, we're not encouraging anything like that. But no, if you think you'd fit into our team and want to work in this industry, I want to hear from those people. I think we do work in a cool sector. It's hard work, but it's fun. And if you're into it, you're into it. And like you say, I'm so pleased and proud that when you said you come in today, and me and Richard are talking, that's just normal for us, but we are enthusiastic.
I think that's what I love about this industry. And, and as I go on to the new ventures that I'm going on to personally, I'm still in this industry because I love this industry. It is, you get to play with some cool technology. Yeah, you get to go into expensive houses with expensive projects. But it's just a really cool industry. The people in it, the stuff that we have to play with. Most people, and the clients. A lot of the clients. I can say, in the 20 years that I've been an integrator, every single one of my clients, I've got a lot of time for, and that's not just because they spent money with me. That's because they are just genuinely nice people. They just want what they want, and with the help of us and the people that work with me, and then distributors like you guys, it's like we get that cool kit into the houses, and we create this industry that I was only speaking to someone yesterday, and I still feel, and one reason why we do these podcasts, I still feel we're an industry that no one knows about. As the integration company, I did 14 years of exhibitions, client-facing exhibitions, and every show didn't realise people like you existed. And I think that we as an industry are great talking about ourselves to ourselves, but we have got so many awesome products in this industry that because potentially they don't have the budgets of some of the massive brands, the end consumer doesn't know about it. And that was one reason I created the Home Cinema Alliance. But so with CAVD, obviously you're a business to business. You work together with the integrators. What's the best way for those integrators to get in touch with you?
You can find us at the website, cavd.co.uk. Instagram is CAV Distribution. And then we're on LinkedIn and bits and pieces as well. So you'll find us by searching for CAVD.
I'll put Mel's mobile number up on the screen now.
It stands for Custom AV Distribution.
Right.
You know, when I started the company, I don't know if we said this in the last video, but
I was going to say that. I don't think we got into how you originally started the business.
It's too long a story now. I've been going
Right.
for quite a while, but I'll tell you one bit of it, right? So when I started the company, I thought, what am I going to call this company, right? And I was on holiday down on the south coast. Wife was there, kids are much younger in the back of the car, and I was like, I'm going to go because there's ambiguous names out there for some distributors. I didn't want that ambiguity because I want it to be really clear, like a Ron Seal moment. If you remember Ron Seal, what Ron Seal does.
Yes.
So I said, she goes, "What do you do?" I said, well, "It's custom AV," and she went, "And what do you do?" What, you know, I said, "We're distributor." She goes, "Well, what custom AV distribution?" I thought, yeah, that'll do. I said that'll do. It was just bang on. You know, we are custom AV distribution. So that's exactly how it came about. It's just a Ron Seal moment.
Well, and you're correct. I think, especially in the world at the moment with AI and SEO, and I think I always got an ongoing joke with Simon Gregory, who my co-host on some of the pods, because he called his company Cinema Rooms. How the hell did you get that? And it's like then when I was doing a rebrand of my company, I got Immersive Cinema Rooms because we're immersive. And you're right, it plays really well with SEO. People know what it does. It does what it says on the tin. And I think, we did go through a phase of elephant insurance and what was it, like egg credit card and things like that. And it's like went too far the other way. And I remember a conversation I had with two industry colleagues who, when I was looking at changing the name, was like, just keep it simple. What do you do? Build cinema rooms. Okay, base it round cinema rooms. I think it's just keep it simple, keep in touch with people like you guys, if you've planned a project, if you're an integrator, obviously if you're an end consumer watching this, because this obviously does, go out on YouTube and social media, so there could be an end consumer seeing this. So if you're an end consumer, can they ring you and you'll put them in touch with someone? Or? Of
course, yeah. I mean, they're welcome to come here and see what we do. We wouldn't sell to them directly, but I'm happy to support them and help them, and then put them in touch with an HCA member, of course.
I'll say for my benefit, you get in touch with a HCA member.
Yes, of course. Yeah, but we obviously, we would certainly put them in touch with a local, well, it depends where they're based, but an integrator near to them that would be able to source and help them out. We couldn't if we wanted to. We haven't got the bandwidth. We don't do light control or networking. We are there to serve integrators. That's exactly
and Richard's busy enough. Keep on updating this place and the new cinema, and he's busy enough. He can't. Yeah, tech supporting you. He can't take on client jobs.
I'm really excited about this year. I know I kind of go on about it, but what we've got in here with the revamp, we've just finished this. Now we're doing the one down the road. So that's going to take some time. We've got the one down. I've been a bit elusive about the one up on the sort of north of London, but that's going to be super cool. So we've got so much to come this year that it's going to be great. So yeah, I'm genuinely happy with how it's going. Although getting burned out, which is why we need more people.
Anything else you want to say before we wrap up, Mel?
No, I think you've covered it all. I think, just get in touch. We love to speak to people. So, don't wait for us to call you. Give us a shout, even if you just want to catch up. If you've not spoken to us for a while, give us a call and have a chat.
I think that's key. That's key. It's like, it's not on you to call us, but don't forget, there are, 3,000 people on the CEDIA database or something like that. So you physically can't, although Jamie would like you to phone every 3,000 of them every day. You can't. So actually,
every other day is fine.
Every other day, yeah, it's fine. Once a week is maybe at the push. But yeah, I mean, honestly, and this is, I'm not being paid to say this in any way. You have built a great, little's the wrong word, but you've built a great showroom here, and you could see that you thought about the products you've put in here. You've got key defined areas that do merge into each other, including the cinema that we've got behind us. But then, hey, if that's, a little bit smaller and someone wants the bigger cinema, you've got the bigger cinema around the corner, which, will have Krix in it very soon as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So excellent. Well, that's it, I suppose. Thank you again. We'll catch up in 2027 if the world is still around.
Let's hope so.
See what new exciting little niches Jamie's signed up for us integrators to get involved in. But no, thank you for your time, and it was great to come over again, and I'm looking forward to working with you and seeing what you do with Krix and Origin Acoustics and Leon going forward.
Brilliant. Thanks, Stuart. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers, Jess. Bye.